Hello, welcome to a new segment here on Fat Man Littleboy website. It's called A Few Minutes with Littleboy. I am, of course, Littleboy, co-host of our show, Fat Man Littleboy Show, which streams every Monday at 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And this is my opportunity to come in and maybe cover a couple topics that the Fat Man hijacked during our regular show. And give me a chance to maybe do a little bit of talking without being interrupted, because anybody who's watched our show knows that he is the king of interrupting. Like I said, our Fat Man Littleboy show live streams every Monday. Usually the dogs aren't here, but I'm sitting in the producer's chair right now, and it's kind of neat because this is you can call this Fat Man has been talking about doing his own show for a few weeks now, so this is me either stealing his idea or copycatting the Fat Man. But I like to say maybe just jumping ahead of him and doing it before he had the opportunity to. So you can also reach me on Twitter. I'm at LBHost, and you can email me at littleboy@fatmanlittleboy.com. So with that being said, we are going to talk today about unholy water. Now, on our last show, there was a group in Florida who had washed the highway with what they called unholy water. And first of all, the Fat Man started out by saying how childish, and then he completely hijacked the topic, and he turned it into kosher versus holy water, and we ended up talking about that. We never really talked about the story. So I have the story up here. But basically, first thing I want to do is we got in a huge argument over what is holy water and what is kosher. So I did a little bit of research, and holy water is water that is that in some churches has been sanctified by a priest for the purpose of baptism, the blessing of persons, places, or objects, or as a means of repelling evil. Nowhere could I find that holy water has to come from the river of Jordan or whatever bullcrap the Fat Man said. You can do some research. If you find it, email it to me. I'd love to see it. I didn't see that. But my point was there is absolutely no way to test holy water. You can put a bottle of holy water and a bottle of regular water in front, and there's no scientific, non-scientific way to find out if it's holy water or not. There just isn't. There's no way to tell except by guessing. Now, he tried to compare that to kosher, where kosher's a little bit different. There are certain elements of kosher foods that there is no way to test, but there are also elements of kosher food that you can test. Now, it says here, kosher food is prepared according to Jewish dietary laws in the Bible, which you really, some things you can test, some things you can't. Kosher meals and poultry must be slaughtered in a certain manner and drained of their blood before preparation to be considered kosher. Now, the only way to test that would be to watch it. But if you had a plate of food in front of you, the only way to tell is if you had witnessed that. So I get that. Same with holy water. The only way to know if it's been holy is whether it's been blessed, and then you make the decision on whether or not that's the person who blessed it is, if his blessing counts or not. Meat and dairy may never be prepared together. Now, you have a hamburger with cheese on it, very, very easy to test if that's kosher or not. So there are elements of kosher food whether you can tell if it's kosher or not. You can test that. Once again, holy water, no test. Okay, so let's get back to the story here. Almost a year after Polk County Christian Group spread holy oil on a stretch of local highway. It was actually holy oil, not holy water, so I guess holy oil can't be tested as well. It just has to be blessed by a priest. To ward away evildoers, an atheist group struck back on Saturday using water from a tank labeled unholy water to symbolically wash away the group's blessing. Now, the Fat Man said it was childish, which it kind of was, but it was no more childish than the idiots who washed it with the holy oil to begin with. It's really funny how religious people get so offended when non-religious, you see the you see the billboards up, the atheist billboards, and people get so offended. What religious people don't understand is they're not the only ones out there. There's lots of other people. There's lots of other beliefs and non-beliefs. My non-belief is just as valid as your belief. And if you want to go out and wash a public highway with oil that you think has been blessed, then anybody else has the right to wash that same highway with, unblessed water, to wash away with you. Is it stupid? Yeah, they're both stupid, to be honest with you. Neither one of them do a thing. They're both symbolic anyways. Neither one of them are going to make a bit of difference, except the only thing I could think of is the holy oil might make your car slide and might cause accidents. So maybe it's going to cause more problems than the holy water. So maybe the people with the water, although water won't probably do a very good job of washing away oil, but at least they made it cleaner. They didn't make it slippery. Now, the Christian Church in Polk County weighed in on the controversy, and they said, today the atheists try to wash away our prayers by scrubbing down the highway in Lakeland, Florida. A commenter in the group's Facebook page posted, adding, my dear Christian brothers in Christ, we better pray for their souls. Father, forgive as they know not what they do. I wonder if we're still in America. Now, it's funny that he asks that question at the end, because the fact that you had the right to go wash and anoint this highway gives the other people the same right to wash it in unholy water. So the fact that you're asking, I wonder if we're still in America, is kind of funny to me. It's almost like your beliefs are valid in America, but nobody else's are. And that's what a lot of Christians believe, and it's wrong. It's wrong. It's selfish, which is the same thing I tell the fat man all the time. Selfish. Just because you believe that way doesn't mean everybody believes that way. So that's all I had on this. I just wanted to take a few minutes to actually get my point across, the fact that, just because you're religious, you have your freedom of religion, everybody else has their freedom not to believe it. And yes, it did seem a little childish to wash away the oil, but it's just as childish and stupid to spread the oil. Now, the washing away the oil, that's not something I would be involved with. It's just, to me, it's just, I don't know. It's kind of mocking them, and not that they don't deserve to be mocked, because people who believe in ridiculous things deserve to be mocked. But just because they deserve to be mocked doesn't mean you have to do it. And I argue and I mock and I do that with the fat man. But out in the real world, I really, if you believe what you believe, go ahead. I don't mock you. I don't mock, especially people I don't know. Friends of mine who believe, we kind of fight and argue and kind of kid back and forth, But me telling you that your God is make-believe is no worse than you telling me that I'm going to hell for not believing him. So, with that said, that's all I have to say on the subject. I'm sure that Fat Man feels completely different, but we all know that he's wrong. And once again, you want to reach me, I'm at Twitter. I'm on Twitter at LBHost, and you can email me at littleboy@fatmanlittleboy.com. Once again, our show live streams every Monday at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Just go to fatmanlittleboy.com. You can also call into our show, 619-387-3457. And until next time, take care.